Hello, it's me, and we're going to do a little weekend project.
And Noah.
And Noah, that's right. This is something that we're going to be doing for Noah. Anyway, this is a normal 3x3. I think this is a Sheng Shou, not a Rubik. Who knows anymore. Anyway, we've got this tiny little QJ mini 3x3. This mini 3x3, you can see size comparison. So what are we going to do with this little mini 3x3? Well, first thing we want to do is we want to make it move a little bit better. It's a little clunky. It's right fresh out of the box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lubricate it. I like silicone spray, heavy duty CRC, and then it'll become clear why we're doing what we're about to do. So I'm just going to go to the middle here, give it a couple squirts. Like so.
Take off your watch.
Take off your watch? Yeah. Why is that?
So I'm not getting anything on it?
Yes, yes. Okay, see, already we're much more freed up, so I'm just going to do that at other strategic places. Now, we're not trying to make this cube fast, we just don't want it to be quite as rigid as it is. So, a couple other squirts at a couple other places. Oh, don't want to cause parity there now, do I? There we go. Oh, much better. Look at this. Now, I'm not a speed cuber, as you can see. We're a little grainy here still. Okay, so phase one, out of the box, lubricate this tiny cute little cube. A little bit in between here too. And we don't have to do a whole lot. Could have done that more efficiently, I think. So, what do you think we're doing? What are we getting prepared for? Alright. What do you think, Noah? Pretty good?
Yep.
Alright, oh, look at that, nice and smooth. Wow. Whoop. It loves to move. And if I could finger trick this, it would probably be a very rapidly moving puzzle. Wow. Here, you want to try it?
Sure.
Go ahead and try it. Whoop.
Wow, it was faster since out of the box.
Oh yeah. So you can see what effects just a little bit of silicone spray will do. We don't want to make it too loose because we don't want there to be any stability issues.
Sticks a bit. Okay, that's fine.
Now you know what the next step is? Whoops. The next step that we want to do. Taking off the stickers. Oh, the shame. Anyway, that's what we're going to do. Wow, yeah, so this really likes to move around, kind of break it in a little bit more. We can always lubricate it more later. Okay, yeah. Now freshly lubed, we're going to apply the sticker extraction technique. So now here's how we're gonna do this. I take this over here, and we very carefully slice ourselves. Now we very carefully come across here and just pull it off. Splat. Same thing here. We're just going to grab an edge and very carefully pull it off.
Let's see the 3x3.
Mm-hmm.
No evidence.
No evidence? Okay, so what is it that we're doing? What is this Sunday project? Which I'm really looking forward to. So we're going to continue to do that. Take this off here. I do side, you do side?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to do the orange side.
Maybe I can do the side off video or something?
Yeah.
When?
Okay, well, we're going to keep doing this, and we're going to keep going ahead until we have ourselves a naked puzzle. More on that later. And here we go, a fully unclothed, in the raw 3x3. This was, what I say, a QJ. Anyway, so here it is now, Noah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scramble it for you. And my challenge is for you to solve it. So it's nice and lubricated, completely stickerless. So, solve it.
Can you time me? 3.
Okay, 2, go.
Done.
Wow,
yeah.
That's a new world record. Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
Look what we got here. So, what are we going to do with this? It's fully lubricated. It's completely ready for anything that we're going to do. What we're actually going to do next is we're going to take these little things over here. These are little Lego pieces. 2x2 Lego bars. Yeah, yep. And we're going to take these and somehow transfer all of these guys to here. Now, just to kind of look in terms of size differentiation, and you'll see why I chose this size here. You can see these stickers are a little bit smaller than these guys. And taking a look over here, you can see that they just fit. They just fit on over here. And what I'm worried about, what I'm worried about is these sharp edges coming across. But basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking these, boop, we're going to be taking these and gluing them on here to give us a Lego 3x3. But I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take these sharp edges and just sort of shave them down and round them down a little bit so they look a little bit more like this. What do you think, Noah?
Yep.
So shave that down before we continue, and that's what we shall do. Now, in order to best make this work, because these sharp edges aren't quite as rounded as these parts over here, I'm going to go ahead and round this out. Basically shave this down with some sandpaper and make it go from sharp to a little bit more rounded. That way it's not snagging or anything. Now, what you can do is you can take some sandpaper and just do the whole sandpaper thing. I'm going to take a Dremel and just use the lowest setting to just slowly round it out. And again, I'm not going to be doing heavy duty work, but just enough to take it from a sharp to a more rounded corner so it looks more like what's seen on there. So I'm just going to use the lowest setting here. Ta-da! And just kind of do a little bit of work here, take some of the sharpness out. And again, you could easily do this if you don't have a Dremel with sandpaper. And all I'm doing is I'm just rounding this out a little bit here. Okay, so as you can see with this, it looks a little less sharp, and as I line it up here, it looks a little bit more rounded. So see how sharp this is over here? This could potentially snag, but this is a little more rounded. It's shaped down a little bit, so it's more flush to it, and it actually takes the shape a little bit more of that square. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue to do that with all of them, just kind of hit all sides. And again, it's not a whole lot that you have to do. It's just enough to get a more rounded Lego. These are from Pick-a-Brick. Took a long time to get here though, but they got here. So I'm just going to do this all around. And then we can take a look. If need be, we can polish that down or sand that down a little bit more. But you can see it doesn't really change the basic shape so much. It doesn't decrease the size, but it just takes the sharp edge down. If we're to compare it to something over here, you can see the sharp edge over here. It might cause some issues. However, if you compare it to over here, it's a little bit more rounded. And if you're not quite as satisfied, well, then you can round it a little bit more. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and with every one of these, I'm just going to keep doing that rounding out with that. And now I'm on the final one, final white one. So again, lowest setting. Just round it off here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again, you can do this with sandpaper. I just would rather do this. 4. Okay, so you can see, there we go, nice and rounded, so it shouldn't snag. If there's a little area that needs to be sanded down a little bit more, you can always do that. Hi, Jesse. Do that here and here. And it doesn't take much. You're really not going to change the piece that much. You're just going to round it to take some of the snag out. Right, Jessica?
Yeah.
So you can see that this is making a Lego Rubik's Cube. Ta-da!
What are you doing?
So now that we have all of these done, we're going to go ahead and make, with the gluing, onto this. Okay, now it's a question of how do we get these rounded edges onto this cute little puzzle to give ourselves a bona fide Lego 3x3. And for what purpose am I actually doing that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pattern it after the normal 3x3 color here. It's a little dirty here. Start off with the green side. What I'm going to do is, ideally speaking, you'd get like a 4x4 by 4 block. I don't have any of those. I could, I suppose, combine 2 of these, but what you're going to do is you're going to take these guys here and you're going to put them on the bottom over here. So you're taking these and you're matching all of these up here. Actually, let's try that again. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to put these skewed on the bottom like so. Here, here, and again, if you had a 4x4, then you'd have it peeking over the edge on all sides, including over here if this weren't here. But we don't have that, so I'm just going to put that on the bottom here. And I'm going to do my 3x3 side all on here, basically. And this comes over to here, here, and here. So you're going to get this situation, and basically what you're going to do is you're going to take this and en masse, you're going to put it onto here and glue it onto here. So that way you don't have to do each piece individually. Once it's super glued, you'll pop this off and this will be stuck on here. So you're going to take the bottom here, and now we're going to take the super glue and we're just going to very carefully super glue this. Now, doing super glue of Rubik's puzzles are very dangerous, because what if you get it in here, then you basically have a forever bandaged puzzle. So you don't want to go on the outside. I'm just going to sort of put it all on the inside here. Try to keep all of them away from each other. So let's get this. Okay. So I'm just going to plop that around here like so. A little bit over there. Put this along in here as well. Put this along in here. Put this over here. And I'm just going to go around all of these little Lego parts. And this way it'll be fairly far away from any dangerous parts. I hope. Okay. Once we've done that, once we have these over here, and just make sure there's a lot in the center here so that I can bond to it. And quick as I can, now that these are here, I'm going to take this opportunity to place this on here and stick it. So you've got to line it up to where everything is right where it needs to be, and just hold it here for a little while. And this way you can do each side just like this, keeping this on until the very last moment. So I'm just going to hold this on here until I'm sure that all the pieces are where they need to be. So I'm just going to hold this here. Okay, now while that's on there drying, I'm actually going to pattern it after this. I'll do the red side next. So I'm going to find all of my red pieces, like so. Move this back here. And I'm going to place the red pieces exactly the same way. Bring this all onto here. Make sure there's no residue from the shavings from the previous puzzle. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this on with the same technique. So this goes over here, here, and here. Now I'll say while I'm doing this, I'm not the first to do this, and this technique is borrowed exactly from RedKB, brilliant puzzle solver slash semi-designer, and incredibly, deservedly popular cubing YouTuber. Anyway, this technique is completely his, and I'm very grateful for his showing of his technique. So we'll see how this works. Now we're going to do the same thing while this is on over here, and I might as well put all the others, kind of get everything set up on those sides for with these Lego pieces here too. Okay, now if we think we've got this all set, we're going to go ahead and do the red side now. So I'm going to turn this over here. Make sure we can move over here, okay? And I'm just going to put all the sides on first. So same kind of thing. Let's go ahead and place the super glue on this area here. Now, I'd rather use a little too little than a little too much, because too little I can always super glue it again. Too much, and who knows what kind of chaos and wildfire I may be spreading. But so far so good. So plop this here, and finally here. Okay, what do you think? Good enough? A little bit more here. Okay. So we do the same technique. Very carefully, cautiously place it where it's supposed to be. Right along here. And I just kind of hold it here pretty steady. Make sure we're lined up on this side here too. And hold this here for a little while. Okay, with that on, I'm just going to line the pieces up here. So yellow is going to come next. So I'm just going to turn this on the side here. And I know that yellow is next to go. So put yellow over here. I've got this already on. And same kind of thing. So with that said, without any further ado, we place this right where we want it, just across here. Okay, without being in too much of a hurry, we just set this on here and let that slowly dry. Just applying a little bit of pressure for just a few moments. Okay, now we can move on to the next side, which I guess will be, well, we can make it white. So we'll move this down here, hoping that the red will stay put, and now we'll do white. Okay, that's pretty good. Now we can go to the blue side here. We have to be a little cautious because this cube doesn't really give much wiggle room. The size of these cubies are very much almost exactly the size of the Legos. Okay, and now for the last side. It appears everything is in place, I hope. And we commence with a crazy gluing, super gluing. Okay, now after they've been setting there for a little while, let's go ahead and take a small screwdriver and just peel this off bit by bit. And again, if it didn't take the first time, that's okay too. Okay, we'll continue with another side here. Why don't we do the green, since green was one of the first that I did, so it should be the most separated. And there we go. At the end of all of it, this is what we have. A couple pieces came off every so often. We just super glued that back on, but now we have a fully functioning Lego Rubik's Cube. The good thing about this is you can bandage it, you can add things onto it. Pretty cool, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. It's scramblable, solvable, moves pretty well. It snags a little bit, which probably can be dealt with just by shaving it down a little bit more, maybe super gluing it a little bit better. But in any case, there you have it. I'm going to refine my technique a little bit, maybe make a couple more of these, but it's a fun little build. And I'm actually wondering if maybe we can do some Rubik's modifications where we put different shapes on different sides and turn it into something other than a cube. Anyway, there you have it. Thanks for watching.